Okay, I think this is the exciting part of the course. A lot of people would say it's like the terrifying part of the course, but I always tell people to take exciting, to take terrifying energy and turn it into something exciting. And that's kind of a little trick, a little tip that you can use for yourself, especially if you have to like get on social media or get up on a stage and speak or present something, or record your course, right? It's all about, yeah, you're going to have like the butterfly energy, but you can turn that into exciting energy because you know that there's so much potential there. But this part of the course, we're going to be talking about the funnel and how you can use social media to your advantage to get organic traffic. We are going to touch on ads just a tiny bit in this course, but this is not the course for that. I will be presenting that in a whole other course. But for now, the funnel we're going to be talking about is just going to be using your organic, like social media to bring traffic to you and then to turn those people into followers and buyers, people who get warmed up to you. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly here so we can go over how this works. I want to show you guys the funnel and kind of get you into that. So here we go. So just to give you kind of a brief overview, there are many ways to sell digital products passively. I've tested out many of them. And what I find is that people want to know you and they want to know that there are people behind whatever they're buying. So I have found for me personally, especially in the past with businesses that I've owned, the more people get to know you, the more willing they are to buy from you. So, whatever amount of time you can spend giving to people, you'll probably see that in return, like 10 times fold. Okay. I used to see this with my balloon company when people would call me up on the phone and they were, asking questions about, their particular event or like their needs for helium. And I spent as much time as I needed to with them on the phone. Now, when I first started the business, that time frame was like 30 minutes on the phone, with a client. But the more that I got used to talking to people on the phone and I got a feel for what people were asking, then I just got better and better at kind of like knowing what direction to go really quickly when someone was, asking questions. So I probably was able to like get that time frame down by, I would say, a fifth of the time. It was like 5 minutes probably on the phone with people. And the same goes for anything like with any of these businesses, where you have to present yourself, especially if you're online. These days, people are more likely, I would say, to want less of your time. In the past, I think to build trust, people wanted more of your time. But now I think, what they want to see is just that you're consistently there, that you're showing up, that, you're authentic, that you are presenting useful information, things of value. But I would say in terms of time frame, you probably can reduce the amount of time that you're online, in terms of like daily being like showing up would probably be like 5 minutes, in a reel or like 10 minutes on a live. I don't think people want much more than that, because at some point it gets to be like they have to live their lives. They have too much going on. They're busy. So whatever you can do to provide value in these like little nuggets of time is going to be best. And we're going to get into that, in this part of the course, which is really getting your social media up and running and being consistent. But I wanted to show you guys some of the easy ways that you can sell your digital products. And one of the ones that for me has been probably the easiest is through a funnel of some sort. And I'm going to get into what a funnel is right now in this video, specifically, but I wanted to introduce these other ways just so that you can see there are many ways. I don't even have them all listed here. These are just some of the ways, that you can easily sell your digital products. So, affiliates, this would be like, say you created something like your course, and then you set it up to be, people can be affiliates for it. Then they can present about your course to their audience and make a commission off of the sale. So you would give them a link that is very specific, to them. And then they would be able to give that link to their audience. You see that all the time when you see people on social media saying, when you go to buy the product, put this coupon code, save 50 or something like that in the box. Those codes are links to different people, all the people out there who are representing them. And it's a way for them to track, how well uh, some of their people, that are representing them, their influencers, let's say, are representing them. It's a great way for them to track that through those links. But it also helps to organize, who gets what in terms of commissions. So yes, you can do this through affiliates if you like. That would be a way to sell your digital products. So you may want to think about like whatever topic you are going to be teaching on, who would be people out there that could represent your product. And I would tell you, have no fear about going, connecting with those people, emailing them, and getting yourself out there and connecting, collaborating, even. We'll get into that in this section where you can do collabs on social media. But that's a great way to widen your audience really fast. So, if you want, you may want to take some time and think about that, and kind of list out who would be some people, or when you're on social media, maybe start making little mental notes. These are the people that I would want to be selling my course, if I was able to like connect with them. And then just reach out. All you have to do is send them a DM and just say to them, hey, I have this product. I think it would be great for your audience too. Would you be interested in, being an affiliate for it? And that could be something that you could talk about with them even. So a lot of people love sharing lives even now, and they'd be willing to have you come on, and it combines your audiences together. And so you get, double the audience out of that. And then you can be each sharing maybe, what you have, what products you have in the moment to share with all of the audience. So think about it that way. It can be a win-win, for people that are out there that may want to represent you. Another way is through blog post links. And I used to do this. I still do it. Actually, I'm still a blogger. I love blogging because I love writing. And you can definitely put your links to your digital products, like your sales page links, in your blog posts. So you would want to be strategic about, how you write up that post. Maybe it's a topic, that is around what your program is going to be about. And then you would want to not give away, right, what you're giving away in your course. In your course, it should be how to do that thing, right? But in something that you write like content, you would want to focus on why they need it. Okay. So that's a big difference when you're writing posts like on social media as opposed to writing your content for your program or your course. definitely want to keep those things different there because, like, if you're giving away everything in your course, there's no point, right, for them to buy it. So I see a lot of people do this on social media, especially. They're giving away like all of the things that are in their course, but they're not really talking about why people need the course. And that's really what people want to know, is like, yeah, you're sharing this thing. Why do I need it? What's so important about it, right? So that's how you would write your blog posts, right? Is around like why this is so important. What is it, about it that will make it different, for people through their transformation. And then when you get to creating your course, you need to have how. It needs to be the steps, how to do this, how to do that, right? And show them in detail how to do that. Okay, for ads, ads are going to be a way that you can get your digital product out quickly. So if you are new, I always say set aside a budget of some sort, even if it's $5 a day or $5 a week, to start getting your product and your face out there. And you don't even have to do your face. You can do it faceless now. You can just have your product or your service being presented, for you instead. But ads are a great way to boost, to get your name out there, to get yourself out there really quickly. I'm going to give you guys kind of like a really simple run through on ads that I do, both on Facebook and Instagram. I even do ads on Pinterest for some of my blogs that I run. So, in some of those social media accounts, it's called boosting. When you create a post, you can just boost something that you've created and you just pay a little money and it just sends it out, to a wider audience. So, again, these are some of the ways, but we're going to get into funnels. So, I want to show you guys the reason that you need to be able to sell a product, you need traffic. Okay. And if you don't have any traffic, you're not going to make any sales. It's the name of the game for business. To sell digital products passively, you need a constant flow of traffic. And you can do that either by getting traffic organically, which I'm going to show you, through social media, through blog posts, even through Pinterest, pins, that sort of thing. And that's all free. Or you can do it by paying for traffic. And we talked about that really briefly here, and that would be through ads. So there's different ways to get traffic, but I really want to stress the importance of getting eyeballs on what you have to offer. Um, the reason I want to say this is because for a lot of clients that I work with, they don't understand that, the way that some of these social media accounts work even is it depending on the type of post that you create, it might only keep that post to your audience that has already followed you. And so for some people starting out, that might only be 25 followers or like 100 people or 500 people or 1,000 people. But there are millions of people out there, right? So you need to be thinking about how do I get more eyeballs on this thing that I've created, and on my content, and how do I get those people to start warming up to me and trusting me? So think broader, this is where I see a lot of people fail is they start to think, well, I posted, I'm posting twice a day. But maybe they're just posting, a basic post or like a story or something. But they're not that all that's doing is reaching their audience. Okay. It's not getting further out there. So really to get it a little bit out, to get it out there faster, further out there, you could expand by having multiple social media accounts, and test out the different ones because you will find that, for what you talk about and what you offer, and for even your personality, Um, some social media accounts will be really warm to you and other ones will be really cold. So like you might get a ton of followers on Facebook, but like hardly any on Instagram, or you might get a lot of people through Pinterest because you are a baker or something, and there's a lot of people wanting recipes, that are on Pinterest. So it really depends on the type of social media in order for you to get traffic. But I would say to start with one and then take that post, that you are posting and just take it and copy it to the other social media accounts. Make it easy for yourself. You don't have to show up in different ways on different accounts on different days. You can literally link them even now, like Instagram to Facebook can be linked. And so when you post there, it posts automatically to Facebook. So I want you to be thinking about how can I get more traffic and how can I make that easy for myself, And so sometimes paying in the beginning, like paying for your post to be boosted, is going to get you more traffic right away. And that's going to be great for testing out, your product to see if it's like worthy, right? If people want it. So I want to show you guys the passive income funnel setup. All right, so your basic flow here is really what we're looking at. So on the white section, this is the basic flow, and then the darker section is kind of getting into more detail. So for the white section, the basics are you attract your people, okay, and that's again your traffic. That traffic comes in to you somehow, okay? So through these different social media accounts, maybe, or through blog posts, maybe, old-fashioned way, meeting them in person, right? It could be networking at a conference or something like that. But then once people get to know you and they're connecting with what you're talking about, you get buyers. People start wanting what you have to offer. So in the dark section, I want to break this down a little bit more. How that attraction happens, we're going to talk about that more here in the course in this section through social media. So we're going to be talking about reels and stories, posts, and master classes as your different ways to have to attract people, to get your people to come to you. Now, you can see in the next part, traffic and followers come in through the things that you are giving them. So it could be your post connects with them enough, right? But these days, what can be really helpful is to give away free things, okay? And we call those freebies or mini offers. So the freebies could be like a cheat sheet, that has to do with your topic. It could be a little PDF guide, that helps them see, why it's so important to do this thing that you're presenting. Um, so the freebies are key, really. Sometimes these days, that can be a great link because you're giving them value. It's like you're sharing this thing with them that you created. People will love that, and they a lot of times will end up following you or signing up for your email and reading your emails because they say, okay, this person's giving me value. They're providing me with tips. They're giving me some information here that is something new to me that I really want and desire and need right now. The thing is, in these freebies and mini offers, you want to have links to your digital products, right? So you want these things to be related to your digital products. So I kind of say to people, work backwards. Know what your digital product is that you're going to be selling and create your freebie based on that. Okay, so you do sell your digital products through landing pages, stores, and links. So this is the basic flow here. This is how you get your buyers. These links that you put in your freebies, these are links that go right to your landing page for your digital course, okay? Or you might be giving a master class, and then at the end of the master class, you have a little link or a call to action that says to them, hey, if this resonated with you, go ahead and check out this offer that I have right now. It might help you even more. So those links are the things that people click on, on your landing pages, in your stores, even in your blog posts sometimes, that lead right to your product. And those then become your buyers when they click on them. Okay. This is the basic funnel setup. This is what we do. It's passive because you're creating things that you can automate. Now, if you have to show up to do reels all the time, that's not passive, right? But if you do create master classes and posts, and you can just bump those up, say through ads, or you can repeat them somehow, and you can get traffic in that way where people are flowing in constantly, where you create a constant flow of traffic, then those people, you're getting eyeballs on your offers, and then you'll have a certain percentage of those people buy, from you. So we're going to get into this a little bit more in detail, how this funnel works and how you can actually set up your own funnel for yourself. All right, so stay tuned. I can't wait for you to get into the details of this so you can get your funnel going and get your course out there.